Hey, Mr. Charles Traynor. Good buddy.
Hey
How
there,
you
Lee.
doing?
How are you? Doing really well. How are you?
I'm I'm doing okay. I'm
Right
um
on.
I'm now that is extremely weird. I this is weird. I just had
Hmm.
this damn here it is, doy. Okay, yeah. um I wasn't talking about my mind, but let's pretend we were. Anyway, um, we're gonna be doing an album review. This is one of your picks, and um, do you want to mention it or do you want me to? I never mind.
Uh,
Either way.
I can. Why not?
Okay, sure.
Total random pick. It's the McCoy's, and I wrote down "Hang on Sloppy," but it's not "Hang on Sloppy." It's "Hang on Sloopy."
It would have been better, I think, if it was sloppy. But anyway.
That would have been an interesting title. But yeah, this is Rick Derringer's group.
Yeah.
18 years of age, very young man at the time, and I mean, they have a connection. They're from Ohio, and there is a connection to Ohio to one of these songs for sure. And that's not really why I picked it. It was just kind of random. See, well, we've never done the McCoys. Why not? We've done some other 60s stuff, and Paul Revere and the Raiders. I think we both tended to like a lot. This is kind of in that wheelhouse a little bit, but I can say I never heard this album. I know the title track, but I never heard the rest of it. And we'll see if I really should have, or maybe I love it. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say I have heard it before, so we will see whether or not I should have heard it again or not. But, alright. I guess, well, who wants to start?
I can, I suppose.
Okay. What do you think of the first song? Well, I don't know whether or not you have it on Apple Play,
yeah,
but
I did. Meet the McCoys.
yeah, it's Meet the McCoys.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Now, this is unique. A spoken word intro to introduce a band. Rather interesting. Now, we just did Lola Young not long ago, and she did a spoken outro.
Yeah.
And the McCoys do a spoken word intro.
Yeah.
With some showing of their chops a little bit on their instruments. Not a song, but an interesting time capsule kind of thing. Never heard that before.
Yeah. Before I tell you what I think of it, I will say one of my band members, he's no longer alive, unfortunately. His brother told me that his uncle was Rick Derringer. I asked my band member about that. He said possibly, but he said he never heard of him or that. And so he couldn't confirm it, but he said as far as he was concerned, he hadn't ever heard of him. So I don't know exactly who to believe, but anyway, I think this is, even though it isn't really a song and there's nothing much to it, well, this is before I heard a lot of the other stuff again, but I can say the same for much of the rest of the album. So this is just as good as the regular songs. Anyway, of course I have to retract that later, but anyway, the next song is, or the first actual song is Hang On Sloopy. Well, this doesn't make me vomit, but it also doesn't do anything one way or the other to me. I can listen to it fine, but it's like dull wallpaper, and I don't have any feelings good or bad for it. It's a throwaway tune they probably had to do because they were under contract. What do you think?
Well, it's Ohio's official rock song. I wonder how many other states have an official rock song. I'm not sure. And then the McCoy's being, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. The McCoy's being an Ohio band, I guess it makes sense. And
Yeah.
this was a #1 single. But interesting, I read today that dudes that produced it were in another band, and this is really just Rick Derringer with those guys playing. It's not even really the McCoys. It's just Rick Derringer with, yeah, that was interesting. I suppose. But I have like a bit of fatigue of this song. Marching bands play this a lot. And it's a rather generic beat, or maybe prototypical. I don't know, but I don't know. It just sounds very stock. Derringer's guitar solo, well, it wasn't him. It was somebody else. It was pretty solid.
Really?
There, yeah. He just sang it. So
was that?
This is an all-time classic. Whoever produced the album, I don't know the name of the group off the top of my head. They were another group, and they did the song "I Want Candy."
Oh, okay. The Barbarians.
Something like that.
That's what I hear.
They were trying to give this to Dave Clark 5 or something. I don't know. Something. But anyway.
It was written by the guy who wrote the stuff for the Partridge Family, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, this is an all-time classic that I'd never need to hear again. It just reminds me of so many other songs and perhaps better ones.
Yeah.
But it is a decent version, I guess, of a song that I don't need to hear again.
Yeah. Okay.
Like ever.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't be the last time because I watch Ohio State football and they play it every game. But, okay.
All right. What do you think of Fever?
Another standard that's been covered a gazillion times. This one at least changes up the arrangement a tad from the original, even though it also has a similar feel to the beat for Hang On Sloopy, which is odd. The bass line sounds almost exactly the same in the parts. Solid guitar solo, that I can say, but I don't really see why anyone would like this more than, say, Paul Revere and the Raiders, or to be honest, as a band so far. I mean, I've heard worse, but I've heard better. It's merely okay, but nothing that will change the world.
Yeah, I put at least Rick Derringer plays some guitar, or maybe he doesn't, but not spectacular, but he plays, and it sounds more like a group playing, whatever group it is.
Well, it's them now.
Oh, okay.
Hang On Sloopy.
Oh, okay. Still, this has the same type of sound as the song Hang On Sloopy, and it sounds like they were reading from a music book. No personality in this, and it's generic. I prefer it to the first song, but that's not saying much. Okay, now for Sorrow. This is okay. It sounds like something that could have been on the first album by the Beau Brummels. It has a little bit of feeling to it, and the slight country sound is decent, so it gets a pass. I like it somewhat. What do you think?
A lesser-known track by a group called the Merseys. It was also covered by David Bowie. And George Harrison nicked the opening lyric of this on It's All Too Much, so that's kind of cool.
All right.
With your long blonde hair and eyes blue. This one has a different beat again, and the harmonica's great. Definitely a slow dance type of song here. It makes perfectly good sense being it's called Sorrow. Now this one I like quite a bit, way more than Hang On Sloopy or the Fever cover. Perhaps it's because it's not a song that is burnt out or a song I've heard a million times. It's not the greatest song of all time, but it has enough elements to work for me, so I'll give this one a good to go for me.
Okay, what do you think of If You Tell a Lie?
Apparently an original here, and outside the guitar, where Derringer gets to show his prowess a little bit. Maybe there's a reason they did a lot of covers. As this one, let's just say, Brian Wilson or Paul McCartney were not shaking in their boots if they heard this. But the guitar work is really good, but just way generic lyrically. Thankfully, this isn't a signature song, and it's short, because it's only good musically, and the generic lyrics end up making it a poor song.
Okay, I put This is cute, and it sounds like something I'd imagine Annette Funicello doing more than a group like this. But they managed to make it sound okay. It doesn't sound like them, but it sounds like they can play in that pop sound. I sort of dig it. Okay, now for I Don't Mind. They do this well enough, and it sounds like it could have been on the first album by the Young Rascals, which nobody listens to or reviews, and I would have preferred reviewing it over this album, but this is okay. It sounds like this band is doing everything other than their own sound, but they are good mimics, and I enjoyed this. What do you think?
No, this is Baldy, a James Brown cover from the McCoy's. Yeah, no. Derringer tries admirably here to do it, but no, and no again. This is a really poor cover. But I do give them credit to attempt a James Brown cover, but no thanks on this one. Music isn't too terrible, but just no way that they could do James justice, and they did not.
Okay, what did you think of Stubborn Kind of Fellow?
Oh, now we're on a Marvin Gaye cover. Man, it's covering everything here. This one, for some reason, works a bit more to me than the James Brown cover. Derringer sounds okay on it. The backing vocals are solid, too. Another fine guitar solo. I will say that. He was a great guitarist. Now, this one sounds rather good to the ear, so way more like it here, McCoy's, on a very uneven effort of an album thus far. This one sounded pretty good.
Right on. I think this is done well. I like it. Again, I think they are playing things in ways other than their natural sound, and they are good mimics, but at least they're playing well, and I do like this. Okay, now for I Can't Help Falling in Love. All right. I don't like this song, but I do respect the way they play it. They give it the high school prom band treatment with a generic sound that fits it better than anything dramatic. I can stomach this. I don't really like it, but I can stomach it. What do you think?
See, I do like this song. And now we're doing an Elvis song, and yeah, no again. The guitar work is solid. That it has going for it. But it just doesn't have the power of the Elvis original. It literally sounds like the best high school band you ever heard trying to cover something they have no business doing.
Yeah.
It does have some decent vocal arrangements, but Derringer can't bring it like Elvis did. So another pass for me on this one.
All right. What do you think of All I Really Want to Do?
So now we're going to tackle Bob Dylan. And it's also not very good. It sounds like a bad Beatles cover of a Dylan song. Due to the guitar work, sounds very George Harrison 12-string era Beatles. Also, the production is rather weak on it. So yeah, stick with Dylan. Another one that pretty much sucked here.
I put, this is almost a carbon copy of how the Byrds did this song. And I like this better than the Byrds version. It's quite good, and so far it's probably my favorite song on the album so far. All right. Sorry. Anyway, you might laugh when I mention this next thing too. Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. I actually like this better than James Brown's version because it's more basic, and the funky, soulful nature of the song comes out more with this type of playing. It's another great song on here. What do you think?
Wow, we just love butchering some James Brown, I see. Music, but hold on now. I mean, that was just my first thought, but then I got into it. Musically, it's pretty much a straight attempt at a copy. And even though nowhere near as good as the original, this cover wasn't as terrible as the other Brown cover on the record.
Yeah.
It seems to fit Derringer a bit more here. So this was a passable cover at least. Geez, this album has been a mixed bag, but this one was a pretty decent to the ears.
Okay.
There you go.
Right on. What do you think of I Can't Explain It?
Finally, another original tune, and it's about as lame as the other original track. Like a dementedly bad tune here. Like a knockoff of the worst of the Beach Boys. Like Kokomo bad, but in 1965. I see why they stuck with covers. This makes the Archie sound like Metallica.
I looked to see who wrote the songs, and I didn't see any of the names of the people on there. So if it is an original, they went under a different name, which might have been smart. But this is a little too cutesy for my taste. It's not horrible, but it has too much of a 50s pop vibe, like something from a teen movie that makes it slightly less enjoyable than the last two songs. Okay, now for High Heels Sneakers. This is maybe a hint to a sound that could be considered their original sound, but only slightly so. But it seems they were sort of having fun playing this, and it's okay. I don't mind it. What do you think?
Well, I got it as a cover again, because it is. And I can't believe I'm saying that.
It's a lady who wrote it.
Yeah, thankfully a cover. I can't believe I'm saying that. I've always enjoyed this song, and musically, no exception here, but the vocals are uber generic and has about as much soul as your favorite Tiny Tim song. Musically pretty good, but the vocalists just lack fire and balls. So about a quarter good here. To make this song good, you gotta add some oomph to your voice. It just is none.
Yeah. What do you think of the last one, Stormy Monday Blues?
Thankfully, we end this rather weak album with a T-Bone Walker cover. Musically, again, fine. But Derringer just hadn't developed as a vocalist at this point. He is only 18. So in this album. So I do suppose it was gutsy to attempt this at his age at that time. But no, far from the great version. Now I know why this band had one hit. One of the weaker 60s albums I've heard, and I'll stick with Paul Revere. Thank you very much.
They did do other albums later where they wrote their own songs. And there's also another album that I might mention another time where they backed up someone, which is an album that if I can ever find the darn thing, I'll recommend it. But for now,
I say right on.
Yeah, but right now, the one album, another one where they backed up the same guy, is a good album. But I want to do a particular one, which might be findable because I used to have it, but the other one gets promoted so much that I might eventually pick that one just because it's the one I can find, but I'm going to try and find the one I want to do. Anyway, Stormy Monday Blues. This is their sound as far as I'm concerned. I wish it could have been faster and heavier, but they do play this well, and it's the best played song on the album. Not my favorite on here. That would be All I Want to Do and Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, but at least they were able to do their thing on this and show hints of how they would be later when they put their own songs on their albums. It's decent. Okay, there you go.
And it's probably fair. It was the album as an album as we would grow to know it still wasn't quite the thing yet. The Beatles were a couple years from Sgt. Pepper's and Pet Sounds from the Beach Boys. So it was still mainly a single-oriented market at the time, and usually albums were an afterthought, which is strange to us contemporary ears now. But that could have been the case here. And I mean, well, Rick Derringer played guitar solo on Exciter on Lick It Up, which was one of my favorite Kiss albums. So you know he's a great guitar player
Yeah.
down the road. But for a young band, it wasn't terrible. And I think if you were to listen to this fresh, just know that this was a young band. Take it with a grain of salt. But it was one of the least enjoyable 60s albums I've heard. But
yeah.
Oh well, you can't win them all. But Paul Revere and the Raiders, folks, blows this band away.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard from them. So
yeah.
take it for what it's worth.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
But I'm glad we did it.
I'm okay that we did it. I thought to myself and realized that when you picked it, I told myself without asking you, because I didn't want to influence you. But I thought to myself, I bet he hasn't heard hardly anything from this, and that's why he's blindly picking it. Yeah.
Yeah. And a few beers. Like I said, like drunk friends pick albums.
Well, I actually now like it when you pick them when you're drunk, because then the embarrassment is all yours later. But anyway, yeah, I was happy we did it because he was or was not the uncle of my band member, depending upon which member of that family you talk to. And I tend to believe that maybe he could have been, or maybe not, but he was from the area where my bandmate had been, and he moved back there before he, unfortunately, had some issues.
I will say this, Lee. It's better than the Michael Stanley band.
I'm not even sure whether or not to agree or disagree. I'll say it's shorter to hear than one of their albums. I'll give you that much. So, yeah,
let me kick it
it's
up
not less pleasant.
It's way better. It's way better than Kevin Raleigh.
Yeah.
I might have hit a nerve there. Yeah, that's one of your favorites. But no, I would have went like Back in the Chain Gang or something from the Pretenders or something.
Yeah.
I would have picked a cooler band than the McCoy's, but whatever. But hey.
That would have been about just as good as this album.
Oh, I didn't know you weren't a big fan of the Pretenders. That's interesting.
I'm not a big fan of that album. At all.
That's that album, yeah. Well, she's a legend from Akron, so that's what I was thinking her. Or Diva, Whip It. That should be the rock and roll theme song of Ohio. Not Hang On, Sloopy. I want to recount.
Yeah.
They need a recount, but at least we have a state rock song. That's pretty cool.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay.
Rest in peace and live, Rick Derringer.
Right on.
You did give us some better moments than this. I know that. Yep. And peace out to everybody at home and have a great rest of your day.
Okay. Take care. Bye.